Hello, good evening. Welcome to News Tonight, live on GHOne TV with me, Evelyn, Araba, Aidoo. Coming up on the News Tonight. Serwaa Amihere sits with the man behind controversial cookathon, Chef Ebenezer Smith, as he bears it all.
On this big platform, and I apologize to the world that I'm so sorry. I don't deserve to live.
Later in the bulletin, after a failed attempt to remove the special prosecutor from office, former NPP member Kuranchie files fresh writ at Supreme Court to have creation of OSP and its powers declared unlawful. Governing Board of National Identification Authority rejects petition filed by Public Service Workers Union of the NIA, which called for removal of Professor Ken Atefua as Executive Secretary. And in business, mobile money interoperability to go beyond Ghana as Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia urges African leaders to expedite processes for connectivity among countries. Those and many stories coming up shortly. And remember, we are streaming live on X and on Facebook at GHOne TV. Thanks for staying. I am Evelyn, Araba, Aidoo. Now we begin with the stories. Ghanaians on Thursday, 2nd July, thought they had etched their names in the history books as Millennium Chef Smith addressed a press conference after he was presented with a certificate purported to have come from the Guinness World Record Organization. Suspicion was shortly lived, raised about the authenticity of the certificate, and barely 24 hours later, PR manager at the Guinness World Record, Madeleine Bayfield, responded to an email by GHOne News' Edem Kojo that the certificate was not from their outfit and Chef Smith did not hold that record. What motivated Chef Smith to con the entire nation? Are the claims of his sponsors really legitimate? And is the Chef Association just washing their hands of a spoiled child? Here are excerpts of a Bear It All interview of Chef Smith with my colleague Serwaa Amihere.
You've been trending lately. Are you good?
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Not really.
Talk to me.
Not really fine because of the news out there. And I felt so disappointed, first in myself, and for disappointing the people of Ghana and my loved ones and everybody around the world.
Okay, we'll get to that, but you're a chef. What motivated you to pursue cooking, and how long have you been cooking?
I've been cooking since 2008.
Okay.
Cooking is my passion, and I can equally say cooking is my calling, because apart from secondary school, I never attended any further education. But I discovered that passion after secondary school, which was not even a course I did in the secondary school. So I've been cooking since 2008.
So what motivated you to enter or participate in the cookathon?
Apparently, after Hilda Basi took the challenge, as a young man growing up, working for a couple of years in the hospitality industry, I've always wanted the platform to showcase the good craft and skills that I have in me, because I've worked a couple of places, both hotels and restaurants, and I feel like nothing is really working out for myself. I wanted a platform that I could get a permanent something to do which has to do with my profession, the culinary industry. Hence the reason for this step.
For participating in the cookathon?
Yes, please.
So walk us through the process. When did you decide to do it, and did you send a letter to the Guinness World Record people yourself? Walk us through the process.
Apparently, after the Bassett date, I have been thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I decided, after Afia did her singathon, I decided to make a step. You know, tracking the history, it has always been a sequential, like numbers with the application reference. So I ended up landed on the application reference of that of Aidoo Safua, and then I built something for myself.
No, you ended up with that application reference.
Yeah, you know, I have read a lot about Guinness World Record.
Okay.
And it's an application process.
Right.
When you apply, they will give you an application reference.
Okay.
That would enable you to know who is the current record holder.
Okay.
And the details prior to that.
Okay.
Your time of break, the rules and the guidelines. So apparently, I have read all that.
Okay.
And gotten to know the rules, the guidelines, and everything. But I don't have application with Guinness World Record.
So you did not apply?
No.
You did not apply?
No.
So why did you start the cookathon?
Like I said, I built it on Aidoo Safua's application reference.
Is that possible?
It's not normal.
But is it done?
It's not logic, but it's done, because if somebody is application index number 1, somebody will be 2.
So that's what you did?
Yes.
Did she give you a go-ahead to use her application reference?
She has no idea.
So you decided to start a whole cookathon with an application reference by not applying to the body that is in charge of it?
No.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
And you wrote to sponsors?
I did.
And you knew that?
I made few approach, because one, there's always also been one thing about me to reach out to the less privileged and the vulnerable. So I said, okay, this is something that I'm not getting any money out of it. Cooking for free, like showcasing my gift and my talent, cooking for people for free, without taking any money from them. Displaying my skills and my talent. I know the risk even for standing.
Calling emergency services.
I consulted a couple of doctors. They told me the risk for you to stand not sleeping for even more than 10 days. And the final doctor said the last time he handled something of that sort was even for 9 days. So for me to talk about 30 days and over, he sees that all is normal, but once it's something that I've decided to do, he gives me his go-ahead.
And in all of this, you did not have approval from Guinness World Records?
No.
So you would agree when people say that you're a scammer? Because you knew from the onset that you didn't even have an approval to start in the first place.
Yeah.
And you led all of us on, all Ghanaians. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Were you in alone on this? Did you decide to do it on your own, or you planned it with people?
All alone.
You did it all alone?
Yes, please.
So even your manager didn't know?
No.
Nobody knew?
Nobody.
You had no reference, you had no go-ahead from Guinness World Records?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow, Chef Smith, that's very bold. That's very bold of you. Okay, so you decided to use a reference from someone's application to seek sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
So you started the thing, and then you cooked for how long? How long did you cook for?
I cooked from 1st February to 6th March.
Did you cook every day?
I cooked every single day.
Because there were reports that you were packing up your things and going to bed at some point at 12 o'clock.
I was cooking every single day.
Did you at any point pack up? Were you taking naps,
Never.
sleeping?
I was having a nap. There were breaks, which, like I said earlier on, I read all the rules. So every 1 hour you have 5 minutes, which can also be accumulated.
Okay, but I get that part. But were you really going home
No.
and coming back later
No, please.
to cook?
No, please.
How do we believe you? Because if you lied about, you know, the whole process from the beginning, how do we believe that you were not taking those 6-7 hours break that people said that you were doing?
The videos as the evidence are still there. I still have the videos recorded because every single thing we did was recorded.
Okay.
And the videos are still there to show us a proof.
Okay, so when you did not have the approval and you decided to go ahead with the attempt, what were you hoping to do with the video?
Applying later on and then push it if it will through.
So why didn't you apply from the beginning?
That is what I said. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
What gave you the thoughts? What got into you? What were you thinking when you decided to go ahead without applying? Did you think that you were going to get away with it and people wouldn't notice?
I don't know. It just happened.
Okay. So you decided to embark on the cookathon with no application and no go-ahead from Guinness World Records.
Yeah.
And then you cooked for 820 hours.
Yeah.
And you didn't know your fate. Okay, so you said that you were hoping to apply later and push it. So did you, when you finished cooking?
Proud to the question on the evidence, the videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished cooking. Did you apply?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
You spent all of that time staying up and you finished cooking and you still did not apply?
No.
Why? I'm curious. I really want to know. And I think that Ghanaians want to know. And it's only fair that you tell them because there are people who woke up from their beds, came to stand with you the whole time that you were cooking, thinking that, you know, you were in the process of bringing glory to the entire country. And I think that they deserve to know. So you finished cooking and you didn't apply to submit the video.
No.
Why? Tell me.
I just don't know.
I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah.
So, what did you tell your sponsors? What conversation did you have with them? What was the agreement when you knew that you didn't have the go-ahead from the Guinness World Records to embark on what you were doing?
The application reference was what was requested, so I gave it out.
So you created your own application reference?
Like I said, I built my application reference.
Yourself?
I built it on Aidoo's application reference.
So you mean you copied it?
Yeah.
But that's a crime. You forged it. You forged the application documents.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you took it to your sponsors.
Yeah.
And you gave that to them, and they decided to sponsor you.
Yeah.
With how much?
It was agreed when we made a step. They will sponsor everything, and whatever that will come out of it. We had a Momo account and also a bank account, and like they were going to receive everything that was coming on behalf of me. And then after the whole thing, we'll sit down and then we'll do accountability, and they recoup what they have invested and something is left out, we share 50-50. So that was the agreement.
And how much money did they initially invest?
I can't tell, but it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Have you seen the statements from your lead sponsors, Ahmadiyya?
Yes, please.
They say they invested about 300,000 cedis.
It's even more. It might be more.
It might be more.
It might be more.
So, Chef Smith, you knew that you didn't have any authorization, and you watched on and allowed them spend that much money. Once again, why? What do you have to say to your sponsors? I'm sure that they're definitely watching.
Ways wouldn't be enough. I feel like at this point in time, I give my life out to them to do to me as they wish. I don't even deserve to live because it's too much for me to bear.
So, by virtue of saying that you forged your application reference number and the document, did you forge the certificate too?
Yeah. Because it started with lies, it has to end with lies.
So, walk us through the process. You woke up one day and decided that today is the day that I have to announce to the world that I am the new record holder. Tell us.
Apparently, when you do the application, it takes 12 weeks for them to review your videos. That is the regular. They have 2 ways, which we said earlier on that I read a lot about them. The premium will take like 5 days, which is a lot of money to apply. The regular is like $7-8 to apply. If it goes through 12 weeks, then you'll be reviewed and they'll get back to you. Calculating from set March up to the day of announcing the certificate, it's even past a couple of days from 12 weeks.
So you had it all planned out from the beginning?
Not really planned out from the beginning to the end, but once the first step is taken,
you have
you need
to
to finish.
it. So on the 2nd of July, you woke up, invited media houses, and decided to tell us that you have been announced the newest record holder, and you knew it was a lie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you again, why did you do that?
I don't know.
Did you think that people wouldn't find out? Were you hoping?
I know Ghanaians are very intelligent, well educated, but I just don't know.
So you, wait, how did you forge the certificate? How did you do it?
Guinness have a lot of certificates on their pages. Like I said, I've been following Guinness for long. So we have a lot of certificates.
So what happened?
So
walk us through the process.
I just picked one of the certificates and I entered the details in my name. And that's it.
And you printed it?
Yeah.
and framed it.
Yeah.
What was the role of your manager in all of this?
I don't have a manager. He just came as a brother to help.
He just came as a brother to her. Did he know?
No.
Did your assistant chef also know?
No.
None of them knew.
No, please.
You managed to scam the entire nation. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
And why would you do that?
I don't know.
You're still watching GHOne television, and I'm here with Chef Smith. Chef Smith, so you decided to forge your application reference number, give it to your sponsors, and they believed you. You waited for the number of weeks required, and then you forged the certificate as well. And I keep asking you, why did you do that?
Honestly, have been working for a couple of years. Working from one restaurant to the other, one hotel to the other, and nothing is just really working out. Wherever I have worked, I put in my best. I work so hard. But at the end of the day, whatever that comes as salary is something that I have a lot of responsibilities as a young man. I have kids, and sometimes it's even difficult to pay their school fees. So I've always wanted a platform that I could get something permanent, that at least not to be so enriched, but to be on the average aspect that I'll be able to cover like my needs.
And that's why you decided to scam the entire nation?
That's why I decided to take the step.
I see. Now, so after the attempt, when it all ended, what did you do? In the lead up to you forging the certificates, what were you doing?
After the whole thing, I got very sick. I got hospitalized for a month and over. And then after I got healed a bit, I got something small to be doing. I got myself a small restaurant that I'm helping somebody, like as a supervisor, to run the place.
And then you decided to come to Accra to hold the press conference to announce that you had been declared the new title holder. Who funded that press conference? Who
The
gave
acting
you money
manager,
for it?
nobody.
So how did you get money to put it together if you don't have money to even pay your bills?
A few people who are still supporting me after the cookathon, and also the gentleman who is said to be my manager, who came in as a brother to also help my vision and support my skills.
So what explanation have you given to all these people now that it has come to light that you forged all of these documents?
I want to use this platform to render a very big apology.
To who?
To all of them. From Honorable Ibrahim Dauda, who led me to the Ahmadiyya, to the CEO of Ahmadiyya, to the management, to my assistant shoe chef, Letitia, and to the entire nation, the President of Ghana, the Vice President, the former First Lady, who came all out with the cookware, the former President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, and the entire nation and the entire world. I render a very big apology on this big platform, and I apologize to the world that I'm so sorry. I don't deserve to live, but I say, "Go pay baby a bit, and let me bear then and it has landed me this way. I am sorry, and I beg the entire nation. I beg Ghana, my sponsors. I can't mention names. I had a lot of support and sponsors. I beg everybody to find a place to forgive me, for this is beyond explanation. I'm sorry, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And I apologize to the entire world, the entire nation, for bringing this shame upon myself and the nation and the entire world.
Please, Smith, I think you should have a seat. Smith, please have a seat. Here. Here you go. So, okay, can we continue? I have a few more questions to ask you. Chef, you have to lift your head. I want to see them to see you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So let me. We're going to be wrapping up very shortly. So when you saw the former First Lady, the Honourable Member of Parliament, all of these people come to you, Ghanaians come to stand there with all of that support. You knew that you were scamming them. You knew that what you were doing was not real.
I didn't know the support I was getting. It started already, and the days were there to complete the task. So I just have to continue.
Okay, so let me ask you this. On the day that you made the announcement, when you were entering the La Palma auditorium, your manager, whom you say is a brother who came on board to support you, was seen asking you to calm down and to be confident. And you were acting as though someone was following you. Was someone following you, or were you expecting someone to follow you?
He told me some gentlemen came that they would allow me to hold a press conference. But he's talking to them so that things will work out. So he later came back and told me that all is calm, so we can go now.
Okay. So even on that day, your brother manager didn't know that it was a scam?
No, please.
Now, you say that you've been cooking since 2008, right?
Yes, please.
Are you a registered chef?
I'm a chef.
Are you a registered chef? Because the Chefs Association say you are not their member.
I don't have a registration with Ghana Chefs Association.
Who do you have a registration with?
I don't have. We have just Ghana Chefs Association.
Okay.
And it's not every chef that is part of the association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I have also seen on your page, International Master Chefs Club, Certificate of Excellence. Are you a member of that club? Did you receive any award from them? Because this says that this certificate is proudly awarded to Executive Chef Ebenezer Smith for his extraordinary contributions and development to culinary arts and hospitality. Did you receive this?
No.
You forged this too?
Yeah.
Why? This is also not real?
No.
Why? This is also not real?
I love cooking.
So what about your life is real then?
I love cooking. And I cook very well.
But why do you have to come up with all these lies? Why don't you just cook what you love doing?
That is what I keep doing all this while. But I have always wanted something that will keep me and help me to be able to cover up.
You say that you've been working all these years, but your salary hasn't been enough. How much were you earning?
Sometimes 1,500, sometimes 2,000.
You were earning 2,000 cedis and you thought that it wasn't enough? And so what about the people who have no jobs? What about those who are earning lesser?
Wow, there you have it. It was all a lie, as Chef Smith confesses, but he says he's sorry. Now, away from that, after a failed attempt to remove the special prosecutor from office, former NPP member Kuranchie has filed a fresh writ at the Supreme Court. He seeks to have the creation of the OSP and its powers declared unlawful. Kuranchie had previously withdrawn an earlier writ shortly after a petition to impeach the special prosecutor was announced. The new writ comes following the Chief Justice's dismissal of the impeachment petition, deeming it baseless and without merit. Kuranchie's writ aims to have the Supreme Court declare the OSP's powers of arrest, detention, freezing and seizure as unlawful and abusive, Additionally, it seeks to place the OSP's prosecutorial powers under the direct control of the Attorney General, similar to IOCO, police, and the NIB. In other story, the governing board of the National Identification Authority, NIA, has rejected the petition filed by the Public Services Workers Union of the NIA, which called for the removal of Professor Ken Atefua as Executive Secretary. The union had accused Professor Atefua of unfair labor practices, but the governing board dismissed these allegations and expressed their support for Ken Atefua to continue in his role. On July 1, the Public Service Workers Union of the NIA submitted a petition to President Akufo-Addo, signed by 920 staff members, seeking to the removal of Professor Ken Atefua as Executive Secretary. The petition alleged unfair labor practices and reflected a decision endorsed by nearly all staff members, according to the Divisional Council. However, in a statement released on July 5, the NIA's governing board expressed its unwavering confidence in Professor Atefua's competence and integrity, dismissing the petition as baseless and unwarranted. The governing board of NIA rebuked the NIA division of the Public Service Workers Union for petitioning President Akufo-Addo to remove the executive secretary without first exhausting internal channels and procedures. The board deemed the union's actions premature and inappropriate, emphasizing that internal mechanisms should have been utilized to address any grievances before seeking external intervention. The governing board requested all staff to have faith and trust in the leadership of the NIA to achieve their common goal. Now, many of us have been guilty of reaching for cotton buds to soothe an itchy ear, thinking it's a harmless solution. But contrary to popular belief, health experts warn that this common practice can lead to serious ear damage, including perforated eardrums. Tonight, GHOne News' Nurain Abbas narrates the hidden dangers of using cotton buds in your ears and gets expert advice on how to keep your ears safe. Here is the reports.
In Ghana, tons of people use cotton buds, known in local parlance as yuasum, on a daily basis with absolutely no idea about the hidden dangers. For many, the use of these sticks is to get rid of an itch in the ear or simply clean it. Though these sticks packaged in tiny plastic pouches may seem harmless, ear specialists say using them can lead to devastating hearing problems. But how much knowledge do users have of these cotton buds?
Why the catcher say
Oh, me started to
we use it to take the dirt from our ears.
Who told you that?
No one, but actually when you see it, that's the first impression. Then since we were born, I think should I say it's a culture that has been transferred to us. So that's how it goes.
You assume.
What do we use it for?
We use it to take dirty from our ears.
Edith Koko Akute is at the Kolebu Polyclinic Family Medicine Department, and she explains to me how the ear functions.
The ear plays an important organ in the human body, and it is for hearing and balancing. So The ear is made up of three parts. We have the outer ear, the middle ear, and then we have the inner ear. So as we can see from our dummy, that's the outer ear. From this side, that's the lobe to this place makes it the ear canal. The pathway of the ear is the ear canal, and that's the eardrum. Okay, so basically it's for hearing, like I said earlier on. Within the ear canal, we have some glands that produces cerumen, what we know as earwax, or literally what we say asufin. Okay, actually this cerumen plays an important role in the ear. For instance, let's say one of the function is it maintains the ear canal pH. Okay, it also traps dust and then kills microorganisms in the ear, and then also it lubricates the ear. This gland produces the cerumen that is known as the wax.
So what are the dangers involved with inserting these soft buds in the ear?
Assuming I have my cotton bud, okay, and someone is cleaning the ear, you can see that we push the wax, okay, towards the eardrum. And when it happens like that, we can push all the wax to the eardrum, and it will lead to reduce hearing. We can also have puncture to the eardrum. That is depending on the object you are using, either a paint or a cotton bud, a paint top, or a broomstick. Okay, for instance, as you are using the broomstick, you are just putting it in your ear, and cause puncture to the eardrum, which will affect your hearing. It can lead to bruises within the canal because the canal is being lined by a skin, which can also cause infections.
Despite the obvious dangers as explained by Edith Akute, some individuals still say there is nothing wrong with using these cotton buds.
It's not dangerous. It's very nice. You just add small water. I add water for it. Then I'll use it to take the dirty from my ears. It's very good for me.
Over 30 years in here, maintain still be doing asuma when you're infected. Maybe quite them do rob so we maybe them the baby. A good to say. Oh, them that so far, no, maybe so up to now over 10 years, and no, maybe you say
Interesting thoughts, right? But nurse Edith Akute reiterates that the ear cleans itself, hence there is no need to put the cotton bud in the ear to clean it.
The earbud wasn't meant for cleaning the ears, because when you buy it, there is no picture with the ear and says use it for the ear, and it wasn't designed by ENT. Let me say professionals. The itchiness comes as a result of it could be an infection going on within the ear canal, or you have removed all the earwax and the ear is bare. So all the deposits of the dust, sun, and the microbes, they tend to irritate the skin lining of the ear canal. So when it happens like that, when is a normal itchiness, okay, you can just put your index finger on your tragus. This is called the tragus. Okay, so you put your index finger on your tragus and then you massage it. It will help relieve the itchiness. However, when the itchiness is becoming so intense, you need to visit the ENT clinic so that we have your ears assessed, we look into it, and then whatever it is, if it is an infection that is setting in, we treat it.
So, the next time you reach for that cotton bud, remember the devastating consequences it is causing to your hearing health. Nurain Abbas reporting for GHOne TV.
And right here, I am Evelyn Araba Aidoo. Now, the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, has underscored the significance of having women parity in the justice delivery system. According to her, women have critical roles in improving justice delivery and acknowledged the increase of women representation in the country's judiciary. Justice Tokonu, who was opening the Gender Equality in Law campaign at an event put together by the Institute for African Women in Law in collaboration with the Judicial Service and the Ghana Bar Association, said the Ghana's judiciary is strongly being feminized.
Addressing a gathering of lawyers justices of the Superior Court, retired judges, students, and professionals, Chief Justice Tokonu said the judiciary has increased the number of female judges by over 50% within the last 4 years.
There's a significantly increasing representation of women in Ghana's judiciary. The past 4 years have seen a very definite shift in the number of judges and magistrates in the judiciary. In 2019, the numbers of women judges stood at 138. This number had increased to by more than 100 by the 2022-2023 legal year. In the 2022-2023 legal year, the judiciary recorded a total of 218 females, signifying an increase of approximately 58% in the numbers of women who joined the judiciary within that 4-year period. While there are still more male judges and magistrates than women, the overall rate of increase of men in the judiciary in that same period was 8%, a much lower figure than the increase in women. So Ghana's judiciary is fast and strongly getting feminized, and more women are driving the administration of justice.
Dr. Jakpa Dawuni, founder and executive director of the Institute of African Women in Law, called on future Ghana Bar Association executives to prioritize women lawyers in leadership positions.
The point I want to take across is that women are not asking for special favors. Women can do it, as we know, but we just need to create a right environment. The Bar Association is critical to law, justice, and women's rights, and we have to start from home. If we cannot keep our home straight, how can we do it for outside and for other people? So that is the call.
The UN Special Rapporteur on the independence of judges and lawyers, Professor Margaret Satterwhite, who also spoke at the event, commended the judiciary for the increases in women judges.
The institutionalization of women at the top echelons of the legal profession. I think that this shows that concerted effort really pays off and that women can make it to the top.
President of the Ghana Bar Association Women's Forum, Sheila Menka Premo, called on law firms to provide mechanisms to address the issue of sexual harassment in workplaces.
Call on law firms in Ghana and the Ghana Bar Association to provide mechanisms to address the issues of some of the issues I mentioned, sexual harassment and all the other forms of discrimination that women suffer at the bar. And this, we believe, can be done by adopting the model gender equality policy that the Institute for African Women in Law will be unveiling to us. I believe that we should consider adopting it for the profession in Ghana, and we would also entreat law firms in Ghana to adopt and implement this policy.
Panel discussions were also held where industry players shared with the gathering their perspectives.
I'll let the action begin.
It's now time for business. In business, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is calling on African leaders to move away from macroeconomic to mobile money criteria of convergence as a means of ensuring easy trade on the continent. Speaking at the maiden Mobile Money Interoperability Symposium in Accra, the Vice President said the quest to have a single currency has failed, but if attention is given to making sure countries in Africa connect through interoperability, a common market will be created easily. He urged stakeholders to start small and later scale up when others are ready.
And therefore, we should move away in this regard from the macroeconomic convergence criteria to digital payments convergence criteria. This is where the West African Monetary Zone, WAMI, and all of those institutions that we have set up should start thinking about what would it take for our countries to be able to have mobile money interoperability. What convergence criteria are necessary? For me, these are not difficult because what we can do domestically, we can do internationally. I think that we have the know-how, our fintechs are very sharp, and we can get this mobile money interoperability at the level of the continent done. But we should not wait for everybody to be ready before we proceed with mobile money interoperability at the continental level. That would be a mistake. It has to be done incrementally with the support of the central banks, and I mean all the central banks should be members of PAPS so that the settlement process can be done. So that all the central banks and the governors are here, central bank governors are here. I think Ghana, of course, is a member of PAPS, but we need all the other central banks to join. But I think that if Ghana and Nigeria, for example, decide to have mobile money interoperability between Ghana and Nigeria, we should go ahead and start it. We don't need to wait for the whole of the continent. If Cote d'Ivoire joins, fine. If we can incrementally do it. And we shouldn't wait for everybody else to do it. So I think that we need cooperation amongst the central banks. We need cooperation amongst the telcos. But most importantly also...
Now let me ask you this question. Have you ever been in a situation where you need to make an emergency call and all you hear is the number you are calling cannot be reached, or the number is busy, or just the sound of boom, boom, boom? It's so frustrating, right? Well, my colleague Rosemond Akoko-Ajete has been investigating the causes of these issues and has this to say.
The mobile telecommunication industry in Ghana is highly competitive and technology intensive. Customers are always looking for cheaper means of enjoying services and tend to prefer companies that provide better services at lower costs. For these cheaper and improved services to happen, telecommunication companies must invest more in state-of-the-art infrastructure. One such infrastructure are steel structures seen in communities known as telecommunications towers or masts. These are mounted to provide wireless connectivity to devices such as mobile phones. The key role of these towers is to ensure mobile network operators can provide services to customers by transmitting signals and data at the required speeds in the community. As the population grows and the demand for data and voice services increases, the need for more towers also grows to ensure that network service quality does not deteriorate. But siting these towers requires land, but the cost of land leases and community acceptance are significant challenges that need to be addressed.
I must stress that one of our key challenges as a business includes the cost of land lease and the community acceptance of the tower. But ATC, as we have a long-term strategic partnership to be in Ghana, we are in our unwavering commitment to telecommunication sector. We are putting ourselves to work with the members of communities where we operate. We make sure that we actively engage the community before and after and during the period that we are in the community, so they see the need and the positive impact of the towers in the community.
Some communities have, however, rejected.
That's it for business. This week, as usual, has been filled with exciting, trendy stories. If you missed any of these, stay tuned in as the entertainment desk comes through with all that happened in the world of entertainment.
This week's most talked about topic revolves around the controversy involving Chef Smith and Guinness World Records. On July 2nd, Chef Smith's management held a press conference proclaiming him as the current record holder for the longest cooking marathon. The announcement gained widespread attention and was met with national congratulations. However, GHOne TV's Edem Kojo verified the claim, with Guinness World Records revealing that Chef Smith had falsified his verification, deceiving the entire country. Adding to the scandal, the sole organizers and sponsors of the cookathon, Ahmadiyya, had Chef Smith arrested, accusing him of not fulfilling his obligations during the event.
And that does it for News Tonight with me, Evelyn, Araba, Aidoo. Do have a great weekend.